All right, let's talk about simple interest. Simple interest has a formula. The formula is I equals PRT. Now this PRT is side by side. We say in class side by side multiplied. So we're multiplying these three together. So you might have these imaginary little multiplication signs in there. We don't put them because an X might look like another letter. So we just know that when things are side by side, they're multiplied. So I want you to remember that. That's on our word wall as well. Okay, so we have I equals PRT, and last year a student says, Miss Schmidt, that looks like I Purdy. So now we remember this formula by thinking I Purdy. You have to say it with a southern accent. All right, so I'm gonna go through what each of these letters stands for and represents. So hopefully as you read these word problems, you can start to understand where you're gonna plug in and how you're gonna solve a simple interest problem. So P stands for principal. Now this is not like your principal at school. Principal is an amount of money that is borrowed or invested. When you borrow money from the bank, let's say you need to buy a new car and you don't have the money, but you have to have a new car because your old one broke down. You're gonna go to the bank and you might borrow $5,000. You are gonna owe them money for borrowing that $5,000. Now, let's say you invest money. Let's say you just put $300 into a savings account. When you put that into the savings account, it's earning interest, and you will earn some money if you invest. So when you borrow money from the bank, you'll owe money. If you invest this money, you'll earn money. Now, R stands for rate. This is the actual interest rate. This is the percentage that you are earning or owing based on the amount of money you borrowed. So it could be that when you borrow money, they're gonna charge you 5% interest. Or if you invest money, you might earn 3% interest. Now, when we plug these into a calculator, you're gonna have to write them as a fraction. And let me show you how you do that. We know that percent goes over 100, so you're just gonna write it as a fraction, 5 over 100, or this one would be 3 over 100. So please remember that you can't just put 5, you can't just put 3 because there's no percentage sign for the calculator. You need to first turn it into a fraction. Now, when you're doing simple interest problems, there will always be time. This is the amount of time in years. Now, sometimes they'll tell you months. So say we are borrowing that $5,000, there's 5% interest, but we only borrow it for 3 months. How would we write that? We would write it over 12 because there are 12 months in a year. So we have the part over the whole. There's 12 months in a whole year, and we only needed part of the year, so it was 3/12. So remember, if it's months, you need to put 3 over 12. If it's years, you're just gonna put that number. And finally, interest, that's the amount of money that you get paid if you're investing, that you earn if you're investing, or the amount of money that you owe. So this is the money you owe or are paid based on if you're borrowing or investing. I know that's a whole lot of information, and this concept is really kind of difficult to grasp until you start borrowing and investing money, which you'll do a lot sooner than you think you will. Some of you might even already have bank accounts that your parents have opened for you. So watch this video as many times as you need to understand this concept. If you have any specific questions, ask your math teacher, ask me, and look on the PowerPoint for the class to see some visuals of how simple interest works. In the next video, I will have some specific problems showing you how to do simple interest.